Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hi friends, welcome to Sharp Ends. Today I'm going to be talking about the EMP from EMP EDC. That's Every Man's Pockets EDC. This is the Nymble, spelled Nymble, and it is a knife that has been going around the community lately. I got this a while ago and I realized I never did a review of it. And so I'm going to do a review today of this knife. So get yourself strapped in. It's probably take 8 to 10 minutes. I'm going to talk about what makes this knife so interesting and why it's been going around the community so much. So first off, I should tell you that the version I have is called the liner lock, and it took an extra long time for me to get this in my hand. The way that it works is that he is making these knives with an OEM, and the OEM makes very, very high end. I'm forgetting what his OEM is right now. I know it's China. Hey, this is Paul from the future here. While I'm editing, finally figuring out who the OEM is. The OEM for this is QSP. So QSP is known for their high quality makes, and this is definitely one of them. I can't find any flaws other than the topo on here, which might not even be QSP. It might be a secondary manufacturer. But other than that, this knife is really put together well. The liner lock was the only sticking point for them figuring out how to do this the correct way. And that's why it took an extra long time for me to get this. But I know that a lot of his other drops get to the customers a lot faster. All right, thanks. And now back to your regular scheduled show. I believe he basically does drops of different styles of Warrenclyffe. So there's the Nymble W, and then there's the liner lock version, and there's a lot of other different versions. From what I remember, the liner lock version was the first time that they've ever done a liner lock quite like this, so they had to re-engineer some stuff. So it ended up getting pushed out, the release of it and the sending of it. And the way it works is that he has drops. He usually leaves them open for a long time too. Everyone puts their money in and does a pre-order, and then it eventually gets to you. I got this topo because I thought it'd be really cool. And honestly, it is cool. However, with age and wearing, there are some parts where the lamination is coming off. And so some of the fine lines on the corners or the bevels are coming off. That is very apparent here on the lanyard hole, where honestly, I wish it didn't even have a lanyard. But a little bit of the lamination of the topo carbon has come off right there. This side is faring better. I really like the topo still, even though it has those little tweaks to them. I think that's fine. I really like this pivot and the aesthetics overall. This blade shape I think is great, and even though it has this big choke up choil here / sharpening choil, I think that is fine. It still has a relatively useful blade, and honestly, it's kind of one of those blades where I'm going to carry it for its fidget factor to have it work. Something cool to bring out, and it's just nice, you know. I like the blade shape on this a lot. He has Warrenclyffes and he has other blade shapes out there, but this one to me, especially with the way that the thumb hole or the finger flick opening is just incredible. The one thing, and then I also like that it's labeled. So this is number 6 of 100 on the liner lock, and that's great. The pocket clip is awesome, and he sells kits to upgrade these clips, and I haven't taken the plunge because I think that the gray tumble wash, stone wash, whatever finish this is on this clip, I think it goes really great with the topo, so I'm not going to upgrade to the, I think it's, what is it, zirconium, or I can't remember what the tie clip upgrade is called, but it's pretty expensive, and I don't think it's needed, honestly. The liner lock itself, now most of his knives, I believe, are all frame locks, but I don't mind a good liner lock, and it's the one that dropped when I wanted to buy it, and it works fine. The detent on it is great, and when you unlock it, it'll just shift down really nicely for you. The pressure is great, and what makes this a great knife and why a lot of people are talking about it is because there are endless ways of deploying it. you can open it, and this is the way that I usually open it, is with the lighter flick. So just going back on the back part, and it has to be one of those things where you flick past it, right? If you try to flick it open and keep your hand close there, it cannot deploy. But you just have to know how to do it. You don't push in right there and hold it. You've got to deploy past it, right? I am not a big front flipper person, but it works. I don't know. Something about my thumbs don't work that way. I work too much with my hands. But, I mean, it works for me. And I've seen other people deploy it reliably. I just happen to not be a good front flicker type person. And then the slot for opening thumb flicking and finger flicking works great. Again, I generally do not use my thumb for flicking open things except for Spyderco's, but it works fine. And it's totally ambidextrous. Now, obviously, the clip isn't ambidextrous, so you're going to be a little screwed if you are a lefty. But as far as being able to deploy it, you can certainly do it. I haven't taken this apart yet, but it seems fairly easy to do so. It is running on, looks like it's running on bearings, honestly. Although I don't know that for sure. I usually take apart my knives, and I usually sharpen them, especially before I do a review, but I haven't done that with this knife because this is more like a showy knife for me than one that I'm like practically using all the time. It's just something I wanted to get and try out and see how it runs. So although I've carried it a lot, I haven't like hard used it a lot. I mean, with this material and stuff, it's, it's just not something I'm doing. So it is milled out in the center there. In the middle, it's very much milled out for weight, and it is a very light knife. The balance on this is fine. It's a little like I like the balance is almost directly right in here, which is great. Obviously, if you choke up on it, it's going to be a little the weight is going to be in your hand. But again, that's fine with me. I often don't choke up on this when I use it to cut. I'm almost always cutting it like this, or my finger will be up on the choil. The ergos are fine. For what it is, it's more of a fidget toy than something that you're going to be carrying a lot or using for cutting all day. Like, I'm not going to take this out and cut down a bunch of cardboard with this. This is more about the fidget factor and the carry factor than it is like the practical application factor, at least for me. So yeah, the styling on this is great. Ergos are fine. The weight is great. This is made with M390, which is a ready-to-go steel. Obviously, you can't complain about that choice of steel. It looks nice. The topo that I got, I like this topo. I think it's great design. I wish it wasn't chipping a couple of the thinner spots, but again, I think that's maybe just the nature of the beast. This topo is not the standard material for his handles. He's got most of his stuff is titanium handles, and he's got other materials. And every drop that he does, he usually has 6 options at least for all of his different blades. So, check it out. And whatever the next time he releases or does a drop, he will have it open. It won't be one of those things where you have to get on in the first 30 seconds and then it'll disappear. He leaves it open for a long time. Guy's named John Tusk, is the designer for this. So, check it out if you want to. The price point, it is a little expensive, but then again, you're getting high quality materials all the way around. You're getting a fidget toy. You're getting something that looks nice, is made out of quality materials. So you can't really knock them on the price there. If you like what you see, you should just go ahead and get it because you're not going to be disappointed. And if you don't like if you don't like it, well, then just don't get it. But it is kind of expensive, I think. We're talking about right under $300 basically for this. So thanks. I hope that you enjoyed what you saw today. Please like and subscribe. If you liked what you saw, please tell your friend or family. And if you didn't like what you saw, please tell your enemy, but please just tell someone. I really appreciate you checking this out here with me at Sharp Ends, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.